We got 3 great clues to this morning. So how did we use these 3 clues? The first clue was the bull price channel, right? The bull price channel told me there's your bull price channel. The bull price channel reminds me here, buying pullbacks as we go higher, but don't buy those highs of that channel, right? Buy the pullback, but don't buy those highs at that channel. It'll be higher risk, and you may not have lost money today doing that. In the long run, though, it's a bad habit to make, trying to buy those highs of that channel. Sell at resistance, don't buy. Second clue was the inside day. Inside day, that tells me sell the previous high of day, but it turned outside. If it turns outside, what do? We buy the pullback. And the third clue was the price wedge. The price wedge, again, price wedge for me is a great deal of personality clues. I know the price wedge tells me fade the new highs. Price rises out, sell it back down. Price goes lower, buy the lows. Fade the highs, fade the lows, contain it inside of that wedge. It's a personality trait. And then there was one variable this morning, wasn't it? And we saw that coming a mile away today. What was that dollar doing today? The dollar was dropping, wasn't it? So while the dollar was dropping, we knew that correlation was there at the lows, and we kept that correlation in mind all morning this morning. So what happened today? Well, as you guys know, dollar kept moving lower. When that dollar kept moving lower, we ended up breaking above the previous high of day. That inside day now becomes an outside day. I'm going to buy a pullback 1. That was an easy one. We all made money for the first hour today together. It was great. Called some live trades, took the slingshot, into the wave, into the slingshot, made some pretty good money. Also grabbed the Russell about 9 o'clock as well. 10 o'clock in the Russell, and got some profit out of that too. So the first move higher, we bought pullbacks, made some great money. But then this is where the challenge came in. We kept moving higher. And what was our plan of attack? Our plan of attack here was don't buy those highs of that channel, sell those highs. At the same time though, what did we see? On the crude, we were overbought. Keep 1 tick higher high, 10 ticks back down. 1 tick higher high, 10 ticks back down. Meanwhile, what's the dollar doing? Dollar's dropping. So dollar's dropping, pushing crude higher. Crude's overbought into the highs of that channel. Right? Are you concerned yet? Absolutely. We kept trying to sell as price rises. And that's what you're going to see here. Got a little bit of chopped up. 1, 2, 3, tried to sell those highs. But we did expect to get an hour worth of good price action, though, thanks to rebalancing. We go up. We make a new higher high. I'm going to sell that new higher high first, sell the previous high of day as resistance into a wave pattern long. This was a classic example of knowing what the market personality was, understanding we had sold the previous high of day down to that rising trigger line. I take 34 ticks out of the short, 32 ticks out of the long. Everyone in that trade with me, making money right away this morning. We had members it was great this morning. Members are saying, boy, I hate to do this to you, Joe, but I got to run, right? Hitting their goals early there this morning. So at 9:50 and 10 o'clock, we literally make halfway to our goal, lickety split. Then, this is where things start to get interesting. We jump up to the new highs now. Now, when we get new highs here, now we're above the previous high of day. So I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be too easy. Slingshot short into a wave pattern long. Well, we got the slingshot short, right? 18 ticks. And then this is when we began to see that market personality. Now remember, focus right here for a second. This should have gone up, right? Slingshot short, 2-step short, down into, right? Down into that wave pattern long. Notice though, what did it do? It didn't retrace, didn't pull back far enough. It was a minor pullback and then went higher. That was the classic example of what we saw all morning this morning. A little bit higher high, a very shallow pullback, which didn't give us much room to feel confident for the short side. At this point though, I'm not really concerned about that top of that channel yet. I'm still okay with buying new highs. Not buying new highs, but buying pullbacks and new higher highs. So by 10:20, I grab 18 more ticks. Now we're talking. We got 85, 90 ticks here, guys. Almost $1,000 at 10:20. Like I said, the first hour was pretty good to us. Then here's where we saw it, and we saw it loud and clear. We take a lot of pride in ourselves and our ability to look at that personality and understand it's going to be changing throughout the day. On a Monday, we know the best personality usually doesn't come till late in the morning. This morning, we were expecting that. We also knew today was rebalancing, which gives that hour right after the open where we expect to have high volume. This is when things really began to get sloppy though. We saw it. We knew now we've got that major resistance overhead, so we knew this was now going to be an issue. We knew when we broke new higher highs, this is when we had to remember our plan. We had a question earlier this morning in our trade room, how do we avoid impulse trades? You avoid impulse trades, right? It's the same reason how I avoid buying junk food in the grocery store. Have a plan. Go into the grocery store with a plan, or else you'll come out with nothing but Snickers bars and Butterfingers, right? You want vegetables and fruits